I just wanted to make a video. As many already know, that our brother, our friend, Wardrumsfire has passed away. Very bad news. I really miss him. He really helped me out about 3 years ago. And initially, how I met Wardrumsfire was pretty much on videos when I was doing some research about narcissistic personality disorder. In the last few months that I was with my ex, I stumbled across his website and YouTube page or YouTube channel, listened to a few of his videos, and he really made sense. He really knew what he was talking about. And with my ex, I knew that she had borderline personality disorder. However, there was a lot of things that didn't make sense up until the point where I started to listen to the traits, symptoms, and what have you with regards to narcissistic personality disorder. That was when I actually understood what I was dealing with. Wardrumsfire gave me a lot of advice, and there was a piece of advice that he gave me that I will never forget. Something that I should have taken but did not. Something that I regret. I have regretted for a long time, but I'm getting over regretting because I am moving on with my life in my way. That piece of advice pretty much was, take the kids, leave her, otherwise all hell is going to break loose. I didn't do that, and he was right. All hell broke loose. I said to her that I was leaving her after one night of abuse. I'm taking the kids and I'm leaving her. I didn't do that. And the very next day I went to work, came back from work, she's gone, cleaned out my house, and the rest is history. Wardrumsfire also experienced some extreme abuse from his ex, and a lot of manipulation from his ex. And he also experienced how the police departments, the courts do not help. So he tried to help as much men as he could. That is a very, very honourable act, and I love you, Wardrumsfire. I really do, brother. And there was I was at work one time in Lidcombe doing some form work, and I had purchased a smartphone and started to get some messages. It was connected to YouTube, so the application on my phone started to tell me that it was receiving messages, and I was able to communicate and pretty much respond to some of the comments that Wardrumsfire was making. We had a discussion about post-traumatic stress disorder, and I realized that what he was experiencing and what I was experiencing, very, very similar. We were able to empathize with one another. Empathy wasn't a word that I actually understood. It was something that I had come to learn. I knew what the word sympathy was, and when the word empathy was first thrown at me, I just took the word empathy as the word sympathy. Didn't know there was a distinction between the two words. And it was at that moment where I actually understood what empathy was, and then actually checked the definition later on that day when I'd come back home, had my dinner, jumped on the computer, checked out the definition, and empathy pretty much was learned by myself that specific evening. And we empathized with one another so much so that it took us to another level where it makes you brothers. Feelings can cause you to become brothers. Emotions cause you to become brothers. Experiences cause you to become brothers. Wardrumsfire taught me a hell of a lot. Me knowing, experiencing this experience with Wardrumsfire taught me a hell of a lot. We learned a lot from one another, but I mean, for myself, I'm very sure I learned a lot more from himself. His background and my background, they actually differ. And Wardrumsfire's heart is so great and so big that he saw past that. He looked beyond that. And that is what I believe a real man to be. When you are able to look past the bias, look past any background, ethnicity, all these other pretty much biases, when you can look beyond that and look within a person's mind and soul, then this is what causes a true connection between two or more people. Now, this is why I see and why I saw and felt every word that came out of Wardrumsfire's mouth. I felt everything. I understood exactly what he was saying. And when he spoke very firmly. Sometimes he seemed angry, and being angry is okay. And why shouldn't we be angry? We know what's going on. We know it's nothing but a scam. Why are females allowed to abuse men? This shouldn't be appropriate. What am I supposed to just smile and laugh it off? Wardrumsfire was always straight to the point. No beating around the bush. He pretty much talked straight and stood straight in a world where men talk straight but stand crooked. I will always miss you, Wardrumsfire. I mean, you might be gone, but you're not really gone. You'll always still be here with us. I'll always love you, and I'll never forget you, brother. Rest in peace. I'll talk to you soon.
I'm replying to Universal Studios video, Make to Australia, No Doors for Men, posted in April 2015. You know, brother, no matter how much evidence you bring to the table, you will always be fighting an uphill battle. We know you're correct. We know she's insane. We have all the love for you and want you to have your kids back. During your video, you made a couple of statements, and I'm not sure how much you've actually understood your own statements. You've once said that she's absolutely crazy, and that you know how badly crazy she is. And this is why she is scared of you. It's the same thing I had with Kim. She was terrified of me because I knew all of her weaknesses. I knew everything I could to pin her. So her first impulsive behavior is to make up tons of false allegations against me to protect her own ass. They will throw you in front of the bus. I don't believe a single allegation your ex has told against you, brother. No, I don't think any MGTOW man does. We understand how females, once they are exposed, once we know how bad that they are, will throw a man underneath the bus at any given time to get herself out of trouble. I know how you posted tons of evidence and have videos and have pictures of the black eye, and how it all doesn't seem to matter right now, how it all seems to be worthless in the eyes of the courts. You know, you're going to have to deal with that for a while and put up with that shit for a while. But there will come a time where she can no longer make up a false excuse without you instantly pushing her into a corner and saying, look, liar, 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 to the courts. It'll happen. For now, she has to spin her web, and you just have to kind of keep burning the web down until she can no longer spin her web, and that's when she will get caught. As for your kids, you know, hey, prayers out there for them that they're going to be fine and do okay through this. I still think it's very important that you tell both of your children exactly what has happened, down to the T. You know, children might not be able to process it all, but you have to let them know that, hey, daddy is not the issue. It's mommy who is sitting there teaching them what to say, coaching them what to do. They need to become aware of what the situation is so that they can also make a choice to either support their daddy or support their mommy. I'm very sure that mommy's got them brainwashed anyways because, hey, she's a natural-born manipulator. She is a narcissist. She's a horrible, foul fucking creature. You're absolutely right that the courts and police stations are run by feminazis. I noticed it too. When I was accused of my accusations, they did everything possible to try to con me or set me up into a certain role. They just wanted to put me into that role of abuser. They try everything possible. They even come up to your face and say, okay, for example, when Kim said that to the police, Kim walks into the police station, crying her ass off, he raped me. The police didn't buy it. And despite them not buying her story, they still tried to call me a rapist for 6 months. They still tried to use that false story against me for 6 months. And I actually at one point said, okay, you know what? If you have any balls whatsoever, Mr. Police Officer, go ahead and make that charge official. Go ahead and call me an official rapist. That way I could sue you, sue my ex for slander, sue my ex for false allegations, and I will win. They backed off. Have you noticed how you've not actually been officially accused of child molestation? How it's just sticking around an accusation? Because that's the best way women can manipulate the courts. They don't actually have to make an actual charge, because then it's legal, then it's binding, Then you can actually counter charge. But what they do is they drop false hints. I'm sure you're aware of that because you're actually in the same situation as I am. But I understand where you're coming from, brother. I know what you're going through. And you have my respect for that. And I understand as a brother, you deserve so much better than this shit. You deserve your kids back. You deserve to have a good, happy home. This woman will one day spend eternity in purgatory. Don't worry about that. I'm aware you have all the evidence in the world. But I know that the courts are going to do everything to disprove your evidence or dismiss your evidence. They don't care about men at all. They just don't care. They would rather give the children off to a psychopathic, delusional, motherfucking whore of a woman than give them to a decent father who deserves them and would educate them properly and raise them as good, decent children. I don't know what the world is coming to by doing that. But I know that the men out there that are going through the same situation do not deserve 1 ounce of it. And you have my full respect for it. In my case, I had to sit there in front of an attorney general that's all deluded motherfucker. He must have been like 89 years old. And he's sitting there in the courtroom and he's saying to me, you had problems in the first month of your relationship. Your relationship was doomed from the first month. And I'm like, that's nowhere near accurate or true, and I can prove that, yet you have the nerve to stand there and quote my ex as if you are a motherfucking parrot. Just because my ex says one thing does not make it legally binding and written in gold. But yet that's how they act. They act like everything that comes out of a female's mouth is true, accurate, and down to the T perfection. And that the man has to make up any kind of excuse to get out of the female's allegation. It's completely biased, sickening, and really gross. I had to sit there and argue like on a Jerry Springer show with a judge who decided to tell me that my relationship had problems in the first month when I damn well know that it was the 7th month. And I made that very clear. It is ridiculous how none of these false allegations, become real, legit charges so that you can go out and prosecute them based on these false allegations. They're all just false allegations. There's no fucking single goddamn legal, legit charge. I had the same thing with my ex. She accused me for almost 3 years of being a rapist, but never had an official charge made against me. Because that would mean that I could actually go and sue her for slander, sue her for false allegations, so they never took it that far. That's the diabolicalness of this family court, and as well as just the police in general. They know what to make an official charge, what not to make an official charge, and they will use everything against you, despite the fact that they have no evidence, nothing to back them up, and it's just one story of a female. And they even say to you, it's just your word against her word. It's not even true. It's her word, and you have to defend your ass. It's not yours versus hers. That would be great. That would be 50-50. But that's not how it is it, brother? Anyways, Universal Studios 13, you have all my respect. I love you, brother. And I don't want you to go through this. I don't think anybody in the world wants you to go through this. Hang in there. We know that this woman is completely insane. We want you to have your kids back. We care about you. This is Wardrumsfire. See you all later. Have a good day. Bye.
Are we going to listen to some music?
Yeah. This is for my birthday. I'm not listening to
Where are we going today? To Tete's house. Tete, remember when you were dancing on the veranda, you were on the video when you watch it? We're going there. It's going to be there. Juju. Not today. But guess what? In about 2 months, it's his birthday party. I'm going to get a jumpy castle for you and for me. Alright? Put our hands together. Are we going to have a good time?
Yeah!
Yeah!
I have a good idea. I'm bad, but we're gonna die flowers.
Yeah.
We give a jumping castle.
Do you want me to get a Sonic the Hedgehog jumpy castle?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll do my best, okay? Who wants to sing? I won't die all night long. Yeah. You're going my way. I won't die all night long. Who can sing louder than me? I want to hear you. I can't hear you. Come on. Oh, he's a good singing. Come on, come on. Are you ready for the chorus? Get ready. Come on. Highway. Come on, louder, louder. All night long. Yeah. You're going my way. Come on, louder. Oh, you have the most beautiful voices in the world. Come on.